Team led by their inspirational captain, Bimeyimana Maridiani. What do these two have in common? They are yet to taste a defeat at this tournament. And in their previous games against Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team and Ghana cricket team respectively, the two captains stood up like captains do and won the player of the match. We are almost set to have the national anthem of both countries, but we shall be starting first with the national anthem of Team South Africa under-19 cricket team. Ladies and gentlemen, from OR Tambo International Airport, flying to Kigali International Airport, it will take me 4 hours, 18 minutes by flight. But before I say Jack Robinson, I am landing safely in Kigali. South Africa, the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. God bless Rwanda.
Hello and welcome back to our match day 3 game number. Hello and welcome back to our match day 3 game number 6 of the Nigeria Women's Invitational Patricia Kambarami T20 International Cup live here at the Tafawa Balewa Square. Two teams looking on this afternoon. Rwanda will be taking on the South Africa under-19s, but before we get started with the live action, let's find out what transpired at the toast with my mate, Ajidaba.
Good afternoon and welcome to Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval, venue for the Nigerian Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament, the Patricia Chipo Kambarami Cup, the 5th edition. This is match 6, day 3. My name is Oluwaseun Ajidagba. I have the captain of the home team from Rwanda, Bimeyimana Maridiani, and the captain of the South African under-19 cricket team, Mika Van Vos. Our tournament referee, Tonye Timinadi, And of course, the fourth umpire from Rwanda, Ange Nico Igioso. The toss is ready. Over to you.
It's
Is the call? Taylor Mitz. And of course, the toss has just been done for the third time running. The captain of Team Rwanda, Bimeimana Maridiane, you won the toss. Congratulations.
thank you.
What do you want to do?
We are going to bat first.
What informed that decision?
We've been doing that and we've been doing it consistently well, and there is no need to change.
Diane, are there changes to the side that played the last 2 games?
Yeah, there are 2 changes. Shakila and Flora are in, and Rosetta and Belize are out.
What is the target you want to set for yourself in this first innings?
Anything above 120, that will be a good score.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You just heard from the captain of Team Rwanda. We want to bat first, and we are looking at anything above 120. I've got the captain of the South African under-19 cricket team, Mika van Vos. You lost the toss. If you had won the toss, what would you have done?
We would have also have batted first, but I think the team is ready to do anything.
What is the target you expect to reduce your opponent to?
I'm looking at anything under 100, with going at 5 and over for the bowlers.
Mika, in your first game against Ghana, are there changes to the side that is playing today?
Yeah, we've got 4 changes. So we've got Boshoff in for Venter, then Kamfer in for Goosen, and then Mukari in for Mukwena, and Wanko in for Mo and Lau.
I just want to wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Well, you just heard from the 2 captains, the captain of the home team, Bimeimana Maridiane, who won the toss and elected to bat. And you also heard from the captain of the South African under-19 cricket team. I'm talking about Mika van Vos. What do they have in common? Both captains were player of the match in their respective game, the previous game. How will it pan out? Only time will tell. This is the competition you all want to witness.
Third time lucky there from Diane, winning the toss and opting to have a bat faster in what looks like a game that the red-hotted Rwandan side yet to lose a game will be tested by a group of raw talent of the South Africa under-19s. Before we get started with the live action, let's have a look at the 2 sides. Of course, Rwanda led by the captain, Diane Menyimana, Alice Ikuzwe, Clarisse Umutoni Iwase, Fanny Utagushima Ninde, with no surprise, who will be opening the batting alongside Giselle Ishimwe, Henriette Teresa Ishimwe, Rosine Irera, who was very impressive in yesterday's game. Uwase Merveille, Belize Murekatete, Sabimana, Slivia, Flora Irakoze, Utagushima Ninde, Fanny. Shakira Niyomuhoza, who joins the party, I beg your pardon, alongside Flora Irakoze, Slivia Usabjimana misses out. And Giovanni is still on the bench, having played only 1 game. And the South African side, led by Mika van Vost.
Yes, quickly into the South African under-19 women's is Ashley Van Wyk, Ashley Bernard, Jaylee Fernanda also in the team, Kanalelo Mukwena, Mia Lalor, Ratabili Untoba, Sifo Kule, who was good with the bye, still in the team, Shana Venta, Clay Van Kel, Danny Shozo, and Jesse Kampa comes in for Zira, who was also very impressive in the last game.
Interesting game we have here, Peter. Of course, Diane winning her 3rd toss and deciding to have a bat faster. Why not? It's been working for them, having picked up still unbeaten, I beg your pardon, with a 100% record in the 5th edition of the Nigeria Women's T20 Invitational Kambarani Cup. They're yet to be tested, as I mentioned earlier. We saw yesterday the South African side wreaking havoc, the spin attack of Ashley Van Wyk and the captain herself, who picked up 3 wickets with that Player of the Match award. The Rwandan side will be tested by the spin duo of Van Wyk and Mika van Vost. The 2 sides, of course, are taking the memorable pictures before we get started. A little bit of dark clouds here up at the Tafawa Balewa Square.
Really hoping it doesn't rain, because this is going to be one of the big fixtures that we've been talking about for days now. We want to see the test, much as the experience of the Under-19 World Cup and the long-time longevity of some of the Rwandan players. It's one of the biggest match of this tournament.
An interesting game, as we just mentioned. A lot of youngsters who have tested the World Cup before 4 players from the South African under-19 that have played the World Cup alongside 7 players from the Rwanda national team who have played the under-19 World Cup back in South Africa, Potchefstroom. So it's going to be an interesting game we have here on our cards. Umpires make their way in the middle. Temitope. Kenny and Temitope will be officiating this particular fixture this afternoon live here at the Tafawa Balewa Square. We saw yesterday, of course, the record holder, Fanny Utakushima Ninde, struggling a little bit with the spin attack from the Zimbabwe under-19s. So you'd expect, given the way these two sides have opted to go with the slow bowlers in their side, to have a challenge on her back up against the leg breaks of the likes of Van Wyk and the captain herself, Mika van Vost. Out there making their way in the middle is Giselle Ishimwe alongside the youngster, shot number 47, Fanny Utakushima Ninde.
Yeah, of the 9 wickets that South Africa took yesterday, I said 9 proper wickets aside the run out. 5 were taken by a spin bowler. The other 4 wickets were shared by 4 different pace bowlers. And that is something that the Rwandan side will need to look forward to, given how difficult it's been a little bit for Fanny dealing with the spin bowlers. In the first game against Ghana, she was sending the pace bowlers to the boundary, a little bit of temperament and composure against the spin bowlers. And one thing that we've seen from the South African side is that their spin bowlers are very good at turning that ball.
Of course, in a game that Fanny Utakushima Ninde struggled a little bit. That's where Giselle Ishimwe picked her form. Unfortunately for her 40, she didn't convert them into a big total. She would love, of course, to replicate that innings into this fixture. Shot number 4 to open the bowling from the pavilion end. Mia Leroy, yesterday we saw her getting that lateral movement. She has a gully in play for the young Utakushima Ninde Fanny. Third man in play and fine leg, the only 2 fielders outside the ringer. And at the toss, of course, we saw the wicket. It is a double-paced wicket. Expect to see some balls carried to the wicket keeper. But again, got to be very, very careful with the ones that skid zone. We saw earlier, of course, in the first game. The female yellow greens are picking up wickets with ease. Shot selection up front in the power play is going to be very, very key for the Rwandans who are yet to lose a game. Play says the umpire Temitope. Here we go, first ball. Lovely shot through the gap between Gali and Point as she picks up a fast boundary. Is Fanny Utakushima Ninde. She loves pace on and she's opened her account with a lovely boundary.
There wasn't really much to do. That ball was coming in swing from Mia Lilo, and Marie just had to put her bat in the right place, fed off that piece into the gap. That is one of the things I enjoy about Marie. She knows how to find those gaps, no matter how tight the situation is. On the backside, with just a late reflex, and that ball raced all the way to the boundary.
Full on the occasion about what an effort there at covers, denying her to pick up that quick single. But again, when you look at the way she goes by with her batting, is Fanny Utakushima Ninde. She's always getting off the mark when the ball comes out of the middle of her bat. Can be a sign of worry to the opposition side.
Maria hasn't found a rhythm in this West African tournament for a while, especially for our level and our prowess and our ability. But we know that she can do very, very well. Fanny is already enjoying herself in the batting crease there.
Keeping it too low on the occasion from Mia Leroy. Very dark clouds here at the Tafawa Balewa Square. Do we expect to see some rain as a homeboy?
The groundsmen are already prepared for that situation. Should it pop up, we're hoping that we can actually enjoy this match. We've not had any interruptions so far by the weather. We're hoping it doesn't ruin it now as we're getting into the fun parts of the tournament. good change of fielding position by the South Africans. This time around, they made sure to have a fielder in the third man region to stop all those gaps that Fanny was making use of. And now Giselle is on strike.
And I love the fact that when you look at that single taken by Fanny, Mia is bowling to her field. She has a backward point and she has a fielder at gully, despite, of course, that boundary. They have stuck to bowling to her field. Very fully packed offside. Backward point covers mid-off. Nearly they have two fielders at mid-off. They learned a lesson from the very first game of Fanny Utagushima Imana Ninde, who scored a lot of runs through cover region. Very good shot again there from Giselle Ishimwe. The chase will be on by the two fielders, but the chase will be in vain as she gets off the mark in style with a lovely shot on the back foot through the fielders from backward point and point.
It's same thing, similar to the ball that had come in for Fanny in the first ball. This time around, it was straight to the stumps. And one thing I've seen and admired about the Rwanda batter is the ability to play into space. Giselle, with the experience, finding that space, getting that much needed boundary, and making sure that Mia Lalo is tested in the early minutes of this game.
Into the pads, worked on the onside. A lot of work to be done by the fielder at fine leg, who had to cover a lot of ground, but they will settle for 2 runs. A fantastic first over comes to an end. Scoreboard reading 11 for naught after 1.
And that was that first caught into the gap between the goalie and the backward point, as the third man had to chase very, very vividly. And this was the second one from Giselle into the gap, covers, taking advantage of the power play over, making sure that they are finding that gap, taking the balls, and making sure that South Africa has to think about what next and how to approach this game going forward.
11 runs on board after the first over of the game. But again, got to give a lot of credit to Giselle Ishimwe and Fanny Utagushima Ninde, piercing 6 fielders. I'll tell you the South African under-19s have on the offside that they've managed to pick up 2 boundaries in that particular offside region. With no surprise, of course, it's going to be spin coming in from the Court of Appeal end. Ashley Van Wyk, the leg breaker, she has a very, very good googly we saw in yesterday's game. She has a deep square leg and deep mid-wicket.
1 wicket and 1 maiden she bowled yesterday, picking up and giving out just 11 runs in 4 overs completed. She is certainly one to look out for. Those empty balls that really puts Ghana on the edge is already been feasted upon by Fanny. Fanny is not slowing down. Yesterday was a mistake, or rather was not her day, and she's picked up from where she left off in match day 1.
Spin or pace, she doesn't care, says Fanny, the 15-year-old. Full on the occasion, open that front leg up and over the bowler's head for yet another boundary. Dealing in boundaries at the moment is Fanny Utagushima Ninde. Very good start to put the spinner under the pump straight away in her first over. Rocks back on the back foot, kept the tad too low on the occasion. But there's protection in the deep to carry it off to only 1 run. Very good rotation of strike, and in no time she's into double figures.
This is the Fanny we know. This is the Fanny we saw on match day 1. This is how she started, selected her shots, took advantage of the free balls, and is already kicking the runs for herself and the team.
I'll tell you, I love the fact that you're staying neutral. You'll let me know right after the power play as we take a break. The Fanny we know. You'll let me know when you've ever seen her. Rocks back on the back foot. Loud appeal on the occasion. And the finger is up as they draw first blood is Ashley Van Wyk. Taking the healthy outside edge of the blade of Giselle Ishimwe, who has to depart without troubling the scorers. 16 for 1 after 1.3.
I was just commending her, but I have to also commend Jaylee Philander for that fantastic catch. She took the first wicket at the back against Ghana yesterday, and that late edge that she's taking off of Gazelle, those safe hands from such a young star is so admirable. You just have to admire it and applaud the South African bowling.
Walks in the captain, Diani Menyumana, joining the young Fani Utagushima Ninde after losing the big fish of Giselle Ishimwe, who was very, very handy with the bat in yesterday's game. She just goes back to the dugout, scoring 6 off 2. Spoke about how the spinners of the young South African side picked up 5 wickets. Got to be very, very careful. I mentioned this, the shot selection is going to be very, very key for the Rwandan batters if they are to get to anything close to that 140 plus.
South Africa already understand the assignment. Rwanda have struggled playing spin balls for most majority of this tournament, and that is what South Africa have had to resort to quite early, and it looks to be paying off. Couldn't find that click, went on one knee to close contact with the ball, but that ball pitch and swerve still disrupted that shot that Diane had in mind.
Lovely ball again there from Ashley Van Wyk, getting the patches out of the wicket. It's not an easy skilled bowling spin with a new ball. She's made sure the Rwandans are earning every single run as she removes the slip in play for Fani Utakushima Ninde. Full on the occasion, ball driven but straight to the fielder at mid-off. As we come to the end of the second, it's a 17 for 1 after 2. $17 for 1 after 2 overs, moving at 8.5 is Team Rwanda. Still that attacking field for the young South African under 19s with a slip in play for the captain. Straight back to the bowler. A lot of credit goes to the wicket keeper, Jailia, who is standing up to the pace bowlers. She's been very, very, very good and electric behind the stumps.
It is very, very admirable. She did the same thing to Anor yesterday against Ghana. First wicket was an edge into her gloves. Same thing today. And no wickets. Bimenimana still struggles to find the rhythm in the West African women, in the Nigerian Women's Invitational. She hasn't really clicked since the beginning of the tournament, and she's still going to wait for that time again.
Coming into ball, of course, her second over. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Full and straight. Deceiving Diane, of course, going for the big sweep shot, exposing all the stumps. Very easy decisions there from Temitope Onikoyi as they lose their second wicket as she walks back to the dugout. She would want to forget these 3 games so far as she's been troubled with the bowlers, of course. Not making a statement, not playing any innings from the captain is Diane. 17 for 2 after 2.2. A dream start here from the young South African under 19s. Spoke about how she's had a drought of runs in the Women's Invitational tournaments here in Nigeria. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. We spoke about the shot selection, Peter. Full and straight. I'm not sure. She is very good hitting balls down the ground, and she decides to go across the line, paying the price Umutoni Uwase Clarice joins Fanny Utagushi-Maninde, who's been watching a lot of action from the other end.
Clarice still same batting order that she's coming before. 15 of 13 balls against Ghana, 19 of 23 against Zimbabwe on the 19. And this is going to prove another test. Both batters really struggled in this match. Giselle going out very quick, almost very quickly. And Diane not being able to register more than a run for going out as well. So there's a lot for Rwanda to think about. Try and keep that wicket at least until the drinks break.
Again, another full delivery there, tries to play it across the line. We saw her yesterday. She struggled against the spinners. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Into the pitcher, but this time round the umpire saying that was missing all the stumps. Gotta be very, very careful. Yesterday, beloved Biza gave her a hard time at the middle there. Full again, well square driven to get off the marker, but there was protection in the deeper. Very good field setting from the South Africa under 19s. Challenge is going to be the left-hand, right-hand combination, Peter, for the young South Africa under 19s.
It's the same left-arm, right-arm combination that Rwanda has used for most part. When those wickets were falling quickly, it has helped them gain more advantage and get free runs off extras as they rotate strike quite very often. The moment that partnership is dislodged, the opponents always have a chance of getting themselves back on their feet. But as long as Clarice is there, it is a bonus right now, a bonus point for Rwanda.
Last ball to come. She's gone for only one run, picking up a big wicket of the captain of the Rwandan side. She would love, of course, to close off her second over with another dot ball. Oh, lovely shot again from Fanny Utagushi-Maninde. Two efforts in vain from the two fielders from mid-off and covers as she picks up yet another boundary, closing off the third over with a boundary.
The same match they won, we reenact that ball low pitched, and Fanny stood high and hit that ball very, very hard. Good dive, good attempt, by the way, but that front foot placement and the power behind it, that ball was certainly destined for the ropes.
22 for 2 after 3. Very good shot. She didn't even try to overhit that one, allowing, of course, her timing and the pace of Mia Laro to get the ball over the boundary ropes. More spin coming in from the Court of Appeal end. Having picked, of course, a wicket, Ashley Van Wyk will be coming around the wicket to the left-hander. Could be a very good matchup for Umutoni Uwase Clarice, given that she will be bowling into the left-hander, heading to the smaller part of this ground, 55 meters to be precise. She is a strong batter. There are two fielders in the deep at deep square leg and deep mid-wicket. Played it very, very late is Umutoni Uwase Clarice. It should be a double. Very good fielding in partnerships from the young South African under-19s.
Already ticking Clarice. That left him advantage is forcing Ashley Van Wyk to come from around the wicket. Googly. Lovely bowl, but Clarice was up to the task, and lovely fielding in the deep. Kaylee also playing that first match of this Nigeria Women's Invitational with a very lovely stop in the deep. She and a fellow debutant have been very, very effective. Jay-Z and Kaylee, two lovely stops in the deep for the team.
Very good efforts in the deep, you would say. Not a bad start there from Clarice given that yesterday she struggled with a spin attack from the Zimbabwe under-19s. Full on the occasion, nearly ricochets it into her own stumps inside edge. They'll settle for only 1 run.
Lovely chase from JZ, as I mentioned again. She and Kaylee have been very, very active on the field. Being the two major outfielders, they've not been slacky. They've tried to cut off as many runs as they could with their quick feet. And Rwanda are also running in between the wickets and playing into the gap.
Shot on the occasion, flat batted but straight to the fielder at mid-off. Very good communication from the young fan Utagushima Nima and Ninde. Sending back Umutoni Iwase Clarissa. There's no need of taking risks. They have lost 2 wickets up front in the power play. They would love to build a partnership. Still moving at a very decent rate of 7.04. Watchfully there from Fanny. As we come to the end of the 4th over, it's 27 for 2. Kaylee Wankal will be introduced into the attack from the pavilion end. Spoke about how we have to expect a lot of spin and slow bowlers in this particular fixture. She has a long off and a deep square leg for Umutoni Iwase Clarisse. Starts off with a wide down the leg side. She is not happy. Asking, of course, the umpire if the ball might have clipped the pads.
A reverse decision from the umpire. The umpire didn't hear that sound and contact with the pad, and the bowler brought it to our awareness, which was acknowledged by the batter as well. And the right thing to do was done by the umpire, and that was to reverse that call.
Interesting action there from Kylie Vanka.
The right arm, left arm combination, it's been slowing down the game a little bit, and we've seen fielders have to go in and out of the circle to rotate with the field settings. And that is one of the things that Clarisse and whoever she's been partnered with have done to the team, you know, messed with them up a little bit, quite too often.
Swing and a miss, but again, what a piece of glove work from behind the stumps there. Should be a very good matchup for Wanka, given that she is turning it away from the right-hander. Shot on the occasion, pulled away powerfully. There's protection in the deeper. Who gives it a chase? Oh, what an effort in the deeper. Inside their 4.2 overs, they have saved a couple of runs at the younger South African team.
That ball was high enough, and that bad contact. JC, very good chase from JC. She's been very active on the field, stopping multiple boundaries and turning and stopping doubles, singles from becoming doubles. It's an excellent debut for the youngster.
Impressor, given that she is on debut for her under-19 side. Rocks back on the back footer, trying to guide it through the fielders at short third and point. Turning out to be a very good over from Kylie Wanka. Only 3 runs as she comes in to bowl her last. Quicker on the occasion. Sloppy there, beaten by the spinner. And they will settle for 1 run. Very good over indeed. 4 runs coming off her first over. As we come to the end of the fifth, the last over to come, Rwanda finds themselves on 31 for 2. $31 for 2 after 5. Last 6 deliveries in the power play. But again, when you look at that wicket quorum, something the Rwandan side need to work on already halfway the stage of the tournament. They keep losing wickets. Now they're moving at 6.2 runs and over. They would love to capitalize and see if they can get anything close to that 40 without losing any other wicket.
This is the most number of wickets they've lost in a power play inning. The first game they lost only 1 wicket, the wicket of Giselle's. And then the second game against Zimbabwe under 19 was the wicket of Fanny, dropping out just 1 ball shy of ending the over. And now they've lost 2 wickets already, and there's still 1 more over to go in the power play.
Shelfa Mukari comes in from the Court of Appeal end. She might have hurt herself. They would expect to see her back on her feet. She looks to be in pain there on your screens. Let's have a look at the batting chart so far. Fanny Utagushibani, they're still not out. 17 off, 15 3 boundaries with a very good strike rate. Giselle Ishimwe fell very, very early. Caught by, of course, Yan Lia Filanda behind the stumps. And Dianmi Menyimana once again not impressing with the bat. Falling cheap again, 104. And out there in the middle, Mutoni Uwase Clarice, who is on 7 off 8. No extra being bowled in the power play. That shows you how disciplined they have been in the power play at the South Africa under 19s.
Being a young side, you have to be, this is a very, very commendable performance. 5 overs completed and no extra has been given compared to yesterday when they bowled to the Ghanaian side, giving out 23 extras, 22 wides and a no ball, and a bye run, my corrections. And so far, so good. 5 overs out of 20, and not an extra has been breathed. It shows composure. Every team has had to go to the drawing board and analyze their performances. And South Africa are showing that they've also done some analysis and corrections. This was the first boundary into that gap. The second boundary, my corrections, Gazelle finding that space on the front foot. This was that edge. The first 4 from Fanny over the fielder. That late edge. Just into the gloves of the awaiting keeper. That's that distance between wicket keeper and the bowler was enough to get that ball into the gloves. And this was when Bimenyimana went too low instead of going diagonally to meet that ball. When we crossed bat and missed that ball straight into our ties that was already low in front of the stumps, and that was the wicket.
Of course, those are some of the highlights of the 5.1 overs. Rwanda losing 2 wickets. With 31 runs on board, by the looks of it, the new bowler from the pavilion end, Shelfa Mukari, won't be finishing her over as she is limping back to the dugout. We'll love to see her back on her feet. Ashley Van Wyk, 2 overs, 11 runs, picking up 1 wicket. And her partner, of course, the first wicket being the one over Dianmi Menyimana. So far, the South Africa under-19s have used 4 bowlers.
The bowler isn't happy on a debut. She didn't play in the last game This was her first game for the under-19 side, and she has to walk off with an injury. And so when Will step in to complete an over, she started. Danielle Lee has been given the ball to help finish off the over. Ball bowled on the 6th over and final over of the power play before the injury. The play must continue. And the new bowlers picked up the ball, has continued in fine form. A dot ball to start off 1 of 5 balls remaining.
Danili Boshoff to complete the over. Shefali Mukari starts off with a dot ball. This is, back in the days, these were one of the bowlers you used to target. Up. Who wants it? There's a fielder under that one. They all managed to pick up a double into the breeze, of course. She might have had me is Fanny Utagushimani as she wanted to hit one over the fielder at mid-offer. Didn't get enough timing. She has a deep extra cover in the deep.
A moment of reflection for Fanny there. Luckily, just very luckily, the ball was beyond the reach of the fielder. That happened in the first game. Yet she corrected and stayed on the ground for a while and finished off the game. She will look to continue that.
Swing and a miss there from Fanny Utagushimani. Very poor, you would say, there from Umutoni Uwase Clarissa. That should have been an easy single. The lack of the awareness from her. She's always caught ball watching.
Sometimes when the bowler bowls the ball too good, you can just not help but admire it. Sometimes I think she is also lost in admiration. The stance to look at the stance. She is not in a ready position. Now she is. But she is not seen prepared for most of the time. She's getting into a rhythm thing. She's been called to order. And a quick single, that preparation, that alertness, you have to be ready whenever there's a chance for a run.
Absolutely going to make a start, especially when the bowler is walking in, charging into ball. Last ball to come from the power play, 34 for 2. Current run rate has dropped from 7 to 5.8. Shows you how disciplined they have been in the field and with the ball in hand at the South Africa under-19s. Into the pads, worked on the onside for yet another boundary. A very good way to end the power play from Umutoni Uwase Clarissa and Team Rwanda. 38 for 2 after 6.
So much power behind that last shot. Was gone the leg side. The left-right hand combination distorted the accuracy of the bowler. And Jeze, who's been fantastic while fielding, you could just only escort that ball to the boundary. Fantastic end to the 6th over is.
Interesting overcast conditions here at the TBS Cricket Oval. Threatening signs of rains, but we have the game in our hands and looking like it's blowing away from that heavy patch there. Let's hope it stays that way. Straight away, we'll keep running. Tanelli, and that one will race. Couple of runs, they're taking the third one. No easy call this time. They manage only 2 from that one. As we go into the 7th over, Shinwa Jidagba, you're welcome back to the comms box. What's your make of this game? Fanny looking good on 20 of 20 deliveries, supported by Clarisse, 11 of 9 deliveries. This is one of the games of the tournament that everyone has been looking forward to. The crowd here and fans keenly paying attention to this one. The Lightning there. Let's hope that we're able to get this one through. This is not the game you want points to be shared, because the South Africans have been very compact testing the Rwandan batters. I backed away from that roaring noise of the clouds. The umpires are quite worried, looking like taking the ball. The clouds looking like they want to call this off. The clouds are quite heavy, and the thunder storms are not dropping yet, just the thunder, and they're quite worried. The umpires are having a conversation there. Ground staff walking towards the covers. I think they've decided to continue play. It's 41 for 2. We're into the 7th over. And the ground staff just standing by the covers and waiting, hoping that play would continue. Swinger misses on that one. There we chase. This won't go all the way. A brilliant run in between the wickets. Decent partnership thus far. Projecting 120-35. Surprisingly raining in most part of the island here. In Lagos, the commercial city of Nigeria, and just not raining around the cricket oval. Maybe blessed by the gods. Now, the umpires will call this off. It's enough. I can't be out there when the storms are roaring. Everyone has to go off the pitch. Play stop. Covers coming on, just to be on the safe side.
Okay, Femi, calm down. Femi, calm down. Get the generator cover there. Femi, calm down. Femi, calm down. We use the other people.
The covers are coming on, clearly. Play will be disrupted for some time. but you're coming tomorrow. You are the ones running the interviews for the legacy program. There's a legacy program tomorrow. All the countries will be coaching kids on the field in honor of Kambarami. And there will be cameras and you'll be running the interviews with the teams and coaches. It's starting 11 a.m. so you own the mic tomorrow, not me. Don't look at me like that. Looks like it's cleared up now. We're going to have a game. It won't rain. It won't rain. It won't rain. Who speaks like that? Zee, you know the guy, the movie. It won't rain. Don't worry. It's fine. Don't speak like that. Have you seen the Good Doctor? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, now you remember. Don't worry. That's it. That's not true. You don't like me or what? He's dying. You're killing him. You've not seen that movie? It's the best movie. Good Doctor. Go ahead.
When this game was halted, it was 6.3 overs. And from information reaching me from the habitats of the game, led by their tournament referee, Tonye Timinadi, to all the other umpires, from Rajesh Pile to Nomsa, Siolise, Diam, Kennedy Olambiwonu, Anje, Nico, Igihozo, Temitokpo, Nico Ijabar, Deborah Imobige Orupe, Adekweju Adetoro Balogun, not also leaving out another umpire of ours, who is the technical director of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, Olumide Akintokun. They put us together, and we are going to be having 7.3 overs to complete the first innings. And that means in the second innings for Team South Africa, they will be playing 14 overs based on what happened in the game. Over to you, Peter. Great to be back after that long hiatus.
Yeah, it's very, very wonderful to be back. Seeing Clay coming to continue from where she left off. It just remains to hope if that break in transmission, like you said, doesn't disrupt the momentum that South Africa started with.
Fanny continues to bat alongside left-hand batter Umutoni Wase Clarice, and the bowling is Kelly, who is in search of first wicket. Kelly Van Wyk.
Kelly is bowling for the first time in this tournament. They didn't bowl yesterday as South Africa under 19 stuck to their first 4 bowlers as they were enough to finish up the game for them. And now they have to be more resourceful and change few of their players. Very fantastic show all the way coming in from that deep. Jesse has been very, very active, the number 15 for the junior girls. She's been running everywhere, making sure that those balls are nowhere near the boundary rope. She's an infielder at the moment.
We've come to the end of the 7th over. 47 runs for loss of 2 wickets. The current run rate is 6.71, and the projected score at this stage is 94. Clarice Umutoniwase has faced 12 balls and scored 13 runs on over 100% strike rate. And Fanny is on 24 runs, having faced 23 balls. Peter, 7 more overs to go for the first innings to come to an end.
Yes, it's 7 more overs. If you take that into a T20 format, that you've played out 13 overs, still having 8 more wickets to spare. It's probably time to start going all out, put something up on the board. South Africa under 19 ladies have shown that they can actually be very competitive. And no matter the runs that has been said, I feel like they do have a chance of meeting it. And Rwanda will want to put something defendable, because South Africa don't seem like a team that you can easily disrupt their wicket and batting order. That was a mistimed swing by Fanny. A short delivery coming way up. This wasn't dealt with properly. And the wicket keeper is the one with the last grasp of the ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fanny would have to take that walk that is not deserving of a batter, especially when a game is going on and it has not come to an end. Fanny loses a wicket off the bowling of Danielle Boshoff. See that again on replay.
Danielle Boshoff. She came in for the injured bowler earlier, and that ball on the wicket stayed low. Fanny has been going high, staying high on the field, and trying to, the reduced overs affected momentum a little bit. So everyone is under pressure now. This is not the time to keep cool. This is time to go all out. And in that attempt, she has lost the wicket. And a little bit of pressure has now been added to the already pressured Rwandan side.
And in comes jersey number 6 for Team Rwanda, Meville Wase. Is coming on to partner Umutoni Wase Clarice. This is a period where you need to start scoring runs, and Meville is another reliable batter. Caller stabilizer, it won't be out of place. Second best batter to Fanny in this tournament. A lot is expected from Meville, especially from coach Leonard Naburo and the entire teammates. But she has an opportunity to see what Daniel Boshoff brings to the table. Cut away straight. The intent is clear.
I am not surprised by the magnificent shot played by Wase. Every time she's coming, she stepped up for the team in the dying stages of the game. That ball, a short ball that wasn't dealt with previously by Fanny, was combated properly, sent into the gap, caught towards the third man region and all the way to the boundary 44.
You see that shot? Can you cast your mind back to another player that I adore so much in Africa? He loves that shot, that late cut. The opening batter of Team Rwanda for the male. I'm talking about Hamza Khan.
Very much so. I remember seeing him at the West African Trophy. A lot of balls. He and his batting pair did Kubimana both scored 100. Both scored, built up a 150-run partnership in the West African Trophy. That was magnificent. A lot of shots were rotated, and they stayed almost to the very end. I think losing only just 1 wicket in the process.
A wide ball declared by umpire Kendi Olambiwanu, but there was no extra run that was taken there by the two batters. And so Peter Wase, Clarice, two says will have to form a partnership.
That balls outside of off, being properly combated by Wase. Look at that ball, just low, and she met it. Good fielding there, by the way, just not in the region that Wase wanted. She had to stretch for that ball. If he was in that comfort zone, that ball would have likely been played into space.
That was a run-out chance that eventually became 2 runs. And at this stage, where we have a reduced over, Peter, both legal runs with the bat and illegal runs will be accepted by the batting side. The most important thing is let the runs continue to experience a geometric progression.
Very well said, Ajidagra. That brings us to the end of the 8th over. It is 54 on the board and 3 wickets lost.
The current run rate stands at 6.75, and the projected score will give us 95. Except something changes, this is what the projected score would look like. Wase and Clarice still batting, a right-hand batter and a left-hand batter. She was the player of the match from yesterday. Into a first over, Mika van Vost. Having an opportunity to do what she did yesterday. Maybe Peter, you can speak a bit about Captain Mika.
Mika with the bat scored 50 runs yesterday for South Africa, and even with the ball she was magnificent. She and a bowling partner Zia Muhala both bowlers were very efficient. She even picked up 3 wickets, and the maiden joined the bowling chart as well as the batting chart. Experience taking over here. Very lovely ball bowled by the captain herself, but experience is more than the other. Beautifully lofted over the infielder, as everybody just had to watch that ball race all the way to the boundary. Rwanda are going all out in terms of putting a lot of runs on the board, making it a very impossible chase if they can for the South Africa under-19.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was close.
That googly turn. That turn was so complete. He even took the wicketkeeper off surprise. Didn't expect that much turn. But that is a sign of relief for Clarice. Would not have been a perfect way to go out.
Captain bringing all the experience to the fore. Reverse shots there. Beats the fielder, and one that goes straight to the boundary. That is what we call inventive shots.
Take advantage of your field. The left side was having less fielders there, and she found that region that was empty and played into the gap. Wase and the gaps, they have a thing in common.
And on your screen, you can see Captain Mika readjusting the field setting. And that's what experienced people do. She's found a way around it, thinking what I'm doing, I don't think I'm doing right. Let me do something else. Plays it up. But it's safe. They want to do two look risky, but eventually they get there. Brilliant over from Team Rwanda. They understand the brief, and they know that we are playing 14 overs and not 20 overs.
Always with a gap. A stretch from that one wasn't really in the comfort space, sure. But one they will settle it, and one they will end the over with. 66 is the run on the board for 3 wickets after 9 overs completed.
The current run rate is 7.33, and the projected score is 103. It's gone up. It's time for myself and Peter to leave the scene for Endurance and Bob.
Interesting reduced overs as a bowling start for you. It's been 1 wicket apiece for Mia Laho, Danelli, Boshoff, and clearly economy rate. Interesting Shefa still bowling here. Our first over. Brilliant piece of bowling, and that will be the wicket. Needed one. Straight up, straight on. Missed everything but the stumps.
What a piece of bowling there from Daneli Boshoff, who came in to complete the over. Shifali Mukari picking up the big fish over. Uwase Merve, who was looking in fine touch. She has to depart for that little cameo. She is living, of course, with herself. She knows if she had stayed in a little bit longer, even that 120 was very possible for Team Rwanda, but she has to depart as we see shot number 50, Ishimwe Ariete, who joins Umutoni Iwase Clarissa. Let's have a look again on the replay. Full on the occasion, rushed her, hitting the leg stump into 2 pieces.
Plenty of experience here, still in Henriette. Hopefully, she would be that solid rock that Rwanda would need in this reduced overs encounter. 14 overs it will be. Lost 6 overs to the Lightning earlier on. The umpires went comfortable and had to call off the game at some point. But the skies are clear now. We don't expect any rain soon. This game is very important for the South African under-19. It's good exposure. Speaking to Grant, head of high performance in South Africa, clearly outlined this tournament as a starting point towards the World Cup preparation. So Rwanda and Nigeria would prize themselves important in the course of African development, where South Africa, as a test playing nation, see them worthy to be part of a tournament.
It's going to be an interesting matchup there from the new batter in Ishimwe Ariete, who's not had enough with the bat. Of course, given that the top orders from her side have been contributing most of the runs. Joins Umutoni Clarisse with a very good situation that matches, of course, her abilities. Let's have a look at the field set for Ishimwe Ariete. There's a deep extra cover. Tells you a thing or two. They've done their homework very well at the South Africa under-19s. An area she loves operating on is Ishimwe Ariete. Third man in play. And the fine leg, interestingly, no one at long off.
They won't be looking to bowl full to her. Perhaps short of a length. With that fielder and deep mid-wicket, deep extra covers, fine leg and third man all in play. Backward of point. She looks to go big inside edge towards square leg, and they will scramble a single there.
Very good bowling from Daneli Boshoff. Interestingly that she's getting that lateral movement. The nip backer into the right-handers. On the other hand, Clarisse Umutoniwase, who's still out there, 14 of 13 deliveries. It's the left-hand, right-hand combination. One of the reasons we have a slight delay as the South Africa under-19s are adjusting their field. Round the wicket, cut away powerfully, but this time round finds the fielder at covers. No run taken. She is leaving with herself.
That's the beauty of this field placement. The captain make a very sensible game awareness. Yeah, just making sure that she set the field for the bowlers to bowl at.
Change of pace there from Boshofi straight to the fielder at mid-on. Dot ball pressure, I would tell from Clarisse Umutoniwase.
They understand what is required. Overs reduced. Net run rate in play. Wanting to dominate this battle. But so far, Daneli has been consistent in resilience and wouldn't leave that line.
Fall again, a swing and a miss. Make that 3 dot balls back to back. Fantastic over, you'd say, there from Daneli, picking up a wicket over the red-hotted OSI Merveille, going for only 1 run. She would love, of course, to close off a second over in style. Flat batted this time round. Listen to the sound between the two fielders who can only collect the ball from the boundary ropes. Much needed boundary here for Team Rwanda as they close off the 10th over with 71 runs on board with the loss of 4 wickets.
Again, there it was there for the hit, and she struck it instead of going square this time. She rather goes down the wicket, finding the gap in the V. The much needed boundary and the pressure reliever, you can call it. Clarisse 18 of 17. Henrietta yet to really get going. Only first one delivery, percentage 100. Current run rate is sitting at 7. Would be nice to see 100 and 120 or 110 on the board, but they have a lot to do. Into the last 4 overs of this innings.
Four overs to go. Clarisse Umutoniwase, who is set for her 18 of 17. And Ariete Ishimwe, who is still on 1. They have a very good batting lineup. They have the likes of Flora and Shakira, who joined the team yesterday. So they will be very livid with themselves if they don't get to that 100+ odd runs. Given that, of course, they have 6 wickets in hand. There's a deep mid-wicket, deep square leg. Swing and a miss, loud appeal behind the stumps, but the umpire says not out. Very good glove work again from Giant Leah Philander. She's been very, very impressive.
She was amazing the first game. And rock solid behind the stumps and quick as well. Interesting to see the support staff of the South African under-19 team. Very professional side, unique in their way, giving attention to every member of the team. Looks to go big. Miss out on that one. Umpire just not interested. Temi Tokpe Jabbar, Onikoyi.
2 dot balls straight up from Jaizi. I'll tell you a thing or two about Harriet's batting. She is not comfortable given that the wicketkeeper is standing up. She loves taking a little shimmy to the pace bowlers. But she's been stuck in her crease. Another dot ball.
One of the things you want to do is probably use the weight of the crease to also counter the bowler. If the keeper is not seeing the bowler, then you know you have a chance. But this is brilliant thinking by Philander. Standing up, I'm sure she had seen that she does that little shimmy early on before before the bowler approaches the wicket.
Full on that occasion, up straight to the fielder who takes a very, very easy catch. Dot ball pressure brings them yet another wicket is the South Africa under-19s as they pick up their 5th.
A full toss was there and wasn't properly dealt with. For sure, Henriette would not be happy with herself because the opportunity was there for a boundary and to get her going. And there she departs for just 1 run.
What do you make of that decision, Andy?
Well, I'll say from the angle at which we're watching, that one was dipping back in. And usually, my coaches then used to tell me full tosses are the most difficult balls to play because they are there to be hit. If you miss them, you could be LBW or you could be bowled.
71 for 5 after 10.3 overs. Jose picking up the big fisher who looked to be struggling is Ariete, who has to depart, allowing Flora Irakoze. Beg your pardon, that's Alice Ikuzwe who joins Umutoni Iwase Clarissa, 71 for 5 after 10.3. A very good, genuine all-rounder. She has been for her side for quite some time. Given, of course, the situation she finds her side after losing 5 wickets, she will have to go from ball 1. No time to get your eye in. There's a short 3rd man in play, deep square leg, deep mid wicket, and a long gun and a deep extra cover. Those are the boundary riders for the South Africa under-19s. Angling into the pads, worked on the onside. A lot of work to be done in the deep. The fielding has been fantastic. But again, a very good awareness from Alice Ikuzwe, who knew that she was running into the danger zone by signal by the umpire, Temitope Onikoyi. It has been very good bowling from the youngsters, given that their average age is just 15. Full on that occasion into the block hole. Another dot ball. Fantastic bowling display from the South Africa under-19s.
It's usually going to be difficult to adjust your mindset into this approach once you see overs have been reduced. You have a game plan, and then you come through, and then you've lost 6 overs. The batting mindset changes, and that's the batting scorecard for you. Clearly, Clarisse on 18.
Only the batting approach, even the momentum, you can tell from that wicket over the young Fanny Utagushima Ninde. But again, you got to adjust, given that these youngsters have played a lot of international games. You have to be ready to find yourselves in these kind of situations.
I don't agree less, Bob. Situations allows you to think around the box, or think outside the box, or think within the box. You have to make decisions and approach the game with a plan at every point.
Ashley Van Wyk is back into the attack, coming in from the Court of Appeal end. Shot on the occasion, pulled away powerfully. The two fielders converge, but the two fielders will only collect the ball from the boundary ropes. Putting the best ball under the pump is Umutoni Wase Clarice.
This time it was a half tracker and got the treatment it deserves. Clarissa onto 22 now of 18 deliveries. Much needed boundary to take that pressure off the batting lineup.
Very good shot there from Clarissa. Picked up length quite early, coming round the wicket. Spinning it, of course, away from into the left hand, I beg your pardon. Again, rocks back on the back foot, but this time round, she finds the sweeper, but look at the running between the wickets. Very good call there from Alice Ikuzwe, doing her shuttles for her team.
Interesting game awareness, not taking their eyes off the ball. And just the midfield, and you could give a lot more. But so far, South Africans have managed to keep things quiet here, taking wickets at intervals.
Full again, outside off stump, but there's protection at long offer. Alice Ikuzwe will take on the arm of the fielder in the deep. Run out chance. She's well in. Of course, she is doing a fitness test for the next tournament for the Rwandan side. Can this be the over where they get 10 plus runs? It's either you go big or you go home, they say. 26 of 20.
The opportunity will always present itself. Alice backing up Clarissa nicely, ensuring if the boundaries are not coming, they're running as hard as possible, taking the ones and twos, and creating that opportunity for themselves.
A lovely shot, but what a take there from the fielder at covers. Catch of the tournament for me here, Mr. Andy.
These kids won't stop. They won't stop. And that's a beauty. You will say that was there to take. Freeing those arms on the offside. And then the beauty of a catch. Diving towards her right and making that one what will be or what might be the catch of the tournament. Great piece of fielding. And this is where they tell you catches win matches. If you take brilliant catches, and then you have a chance. Watch that one again.
Full asking to be hit. She struck it, came out of the sweet spot of her blade. But what a catch. Full diver from the fielder at covers. It's not going to be very easy to beat that catch, I'll tell you. And the celebrations from the youngster, putting the icing on the cake. Big wicket they have picked is the South Africa under-19s. I love the fact that they've stuck to the basics, making sure they make the Rwandans and every single run.
Clearly, South Africans are just living a simple life on the field today. Keeping life simple. Don't try too many things. Get it up there. Let the batter play, but we will catch.
Shakira joins the party. Missed out in the first game. Starts off with the double.
It's brilliant running between the wickets by these two. Game awareness. Sloppy fielding. Deep mid-wicket. And they will take every single opportunity here on the offer.
Again, plays it on the onside. 2 is the call. Should be an easy double, but this time round, Shakira is not one of the quickest between the wickets. A fantastic over there once again from Ashley Van Wyk, picking up the big wicket over Umutoni Wase Clarissa. A little bit expensive, going for 22 to bring us to the end of the 12. 84 runs for the loss of 6. into the last of deliveries of the first innings. Jose Kamfa will be bowling from the pavilion end. Up against Shakira into the pads, worked on the onside. Should be looking for the double, a little bit of fumble, but this time round, the throw was very accurate, denying them the second run. The fielding has been spot on from the young South Africa under 19s. The running between the wickets should be the difference and key in this game. Full again on that occasion, but there's protection in the deep. I love the fact that they have made sure they are bowling to their field. She has a long gone deep mid-wicket and a deep square leg, and she's targeting that middle stump, bowling it full and straight. You miss a hit. Full on that occasion. No signal there from the umpire once again. That looked that it was a little bit higher.
Similar to the last ball that took the wicket of Henrietta. When you look at that ball, it was coming in full.
Not sure how she's gotten away with that one. That looked like a clean no ball over the waist high over a tall Muhoza Shakira. Full outside offer. But there's a fielder at deep extra cover looking for the second. Miscommunication, but she's well back is Alice Ikuzwe. Pressure now is on her. They would love to cross that 3-digit mark is Team Rwanda.
Yeah, the projected score still sitting at 98. In South Africa is wanting to make it very, very difficult for them to attain those figures.
Full again, very good bowling into the block hole. And the running has been superb from Alice Ikuzo and Umuhoza Shakira. Last ball to come from Jose Kamfa's 2 overs. She's been tremendously good bowling into the block hole, not giving them any room whatsoever to free their arms. Full again, lovely shot again, straight to the fielder, run out chance, direct hit. Ooh, misses the bullseye by the host camper for 2 runs. Much needed runs here for Team Rwanda as we come to the end of the 13th. Scoreboard reading 92 for 6.
That ball certainly was full, way above the waist level, wasn't going anywhere near the stumps. Should have been flagged. The umpire, felt that ball was going to sink, and South Africa do get away with that one.
Last 6 deliveries, Peter, that ball would have missed even the wicket keeper. 92 for 6 into the last 6 deliveries. Just need 8 runs or even more to cross that 100 mark. Spoke about earlier how the South Africa under 19s will be the team to test the abilities of the Rwandan side, who are yet to lose a game. Given the way the likes of Van Wyk and Mika Van Vost have been getting the patches out of the wicket, Rosine Irera on the side will be licking her fingers. Yesterday she had a very good day in the office with the ball.
Yeah, hey, cricket is a two-way game. Who bowls will certainly come in and bat. We've seen just how fantastic we've seen the South Africa bowlers in the first game and in this game. Going into the second inning, much more better performance would be expected from the likes of Chanel Vante, because Mika Van Host and Sofokule were very, very good and compact. Pushed the team up to a very competitive total before the partnership was broken against the Ghanaian side. So and we know just how efficient the bowling of the likes of Marie. Yes, Marie certainly coming in with those in-swing is going to prove a very, very big problem for the South African batters, but remains to see how they come back that in the second inning.
Starting off with a dot ball from Mia, who opened the bowling, of course, picked up the big wicket of Dian Wimenyimana. Changing ends are coming from the Court of Appeal end. Very smartly done when you look at that previous delivery. She drove back all the line and length, deceiving, of course, Alice Ikuzwe, who thought it's going to be pace on. Shows you how intelligent they are, these young under 19 South Africans. Into the pitch, worked on the onside, the pace on, but there's protection. It is a little bit of fumble. Allows them to pick up a double. Not the happiest of faces from the bowler herself.
It was a good thing that ball wasn't picked up anywhere close to the ropes. That fumble and that body jab would have hit that ball and accelerated it all the way to the boundary. But very good recovery from the fielder and prevented, caught the run short by 2.
Pace on down the leg side. White on offer. Turning out to be a good over for the Rwandans.
Yeah, why you commend the batting in for the Rwandan side. Jay Lee has been very, very excellent behind that stump, stopping as many balls as she can, slow down many balls that were potentially wide fours with a huge dive, and very excellent stumping ability.
Ronald just goes begging. She almost gave up. Is Alice Ikuzwe. 3 more deliveries to come. How many more can they add? Deep extra cover in play, third man. And the deep mid wicket, interestingly, for Niomoza Shakira. What are the options? She would love to hit down the ground. Full up and over. 1 bouncer, 2 bounces. The chase is on and the chase is in vain. Very good shot selection from Niomoza Shakira, given that the 2 fielders were inside the ring at mid-off and mid-on.
Stepping away from her wicket gave her that confidence, knowing that that ball was within playing range and no threat at all. And the best thing to do at that point was to go all out, backhand shot over the infielders and a very beautiful boundary.
And of course, with that boundary, they bring in the third man inside the ring, sending long on. And knocks her over straight away. Very good bowling from Mia. 100 comes up, of course, so with that boundary for the loss of 6 after 13. 0.5 overs.
Same thing as last time, but this time only with more in swing. And wanted to send it the same way. Felt that ball was coming straight. Oh, an identical shot with the first one, but this time the ball came in a much more different direction and accelerated pace. Very lovely wicket to Mia Lelo. She has deserved it with very wonderful bowling innings. And just one more ball and possibly another wicket. 100 runs should be defendable given the reduced over, but South Africa under 19 will put the Rwandan fielding side on the edge and on hot seat in the second inning.
Flora Irakoze comes in to face only 1 ball. Should be an easy double here, but they will decide to take on only the 1 run as we come to the end of the 14th over. The first innings are done and dusted with Rwanda setting a target of 102 to the young South Africa under 19s in their 14 overs to come.
Wonderful performance from Clarice with 26. Fanny also getting into 24. Uwase Muvil didn't replicate her high scoring form, but 17 was a good score to help the team advance 101 after 14 overs. Mia Lelo with 2 wickets, Ashley as well with 2 wickets, and Daniel Boshoff coming in for Shuffler, who was injured, getting 2 wickets for herself as well. South Africa will be needing 102 in the second innings.
is made known from the first delivery. Oh, that one. Created within the next 13 overs. Clearly, this is great intent.
while having a conversation with Rajesh Pilau, one of the experienced umpires at this tournament.
Tucks this one away straight to the fielder, but brilliant running between the wickets. This is looking interesting. That lady there, Jessie, number 7, Ashley Bennett, just running everything really, really hard. She goes big this time, drift down the leg side. A quick turn onto that one. A needed boundary, gotten yes. They understand what is required. They work hard, rotate, strike, and then hoot for that boundary. And this brings us to the end of the third over. And the score right now. And clearly moves on to 23 for no loss.
And see that again on replay, how that ball was dispatched to the boundary. 3 overs gone, 23 runs on board. Just one more run if they had scored would have meant that they were on 8 per over, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm sure in the head of the captain, Diane, it's how to break this partnership that is doing a lot of damage for them.
Constantly, I think they're way ahead on DLS pass score. Expected after the third over is 18, presently sitting on 23. Brilliant shot, but the fielder, Whitish mid-off, ensures it will just be a single. The skipper herself.
This is Henriette Ishimwe. Coming from the Court of Appeal end.
South Africans clearly will run everything at this moment. An interesting time to see. They won't go down without a chase. You understand how this should be. The instruction is clear. And they know 105 runs to win from allotted 14 overs. DLS coming to play. Having lost 6 overs. She goes across, is in the air. Will anyone take it? No, land safe. It was in the air long enough for someone to take advantage of that one, but they got a single from that indecisive or indecision, you call it. The Rwandans will have to do more. They have to show discipline here. The South African under-19 team working really hard to get the numbers in. Brilliant shot. A real piece of fielding there by the Rwandans. No giving up, it is. This is the attitude, the positivity.
You can imagine if this game was point shared, this excitement that we are seeing, we might not have seen it.
It's one of those games we were looking forward to in this tournament. And Rwanda, SA under 19s. More runs here, wide. Signal by the umpire. One of those exciting games we were looking forward to. And we're getting the excitement here with this chase on by the South African under 19. We talked about how disciplined they've been, how professional they've been. Into the fourth over. And the intent there, clearly, Henriette. She goes big again in the air. Will it be safe? The chase is on, but they will get a second one. Will they get a third one? No is the call. And clearly, the batters understand the foot work and the need to ensure they take advantage of the power play overs before the field is expanded. And that is what they're doing, and they're doing it just right. If you're just joining us, it is SA under 19 versus Rwanda women's team at the 5th edition of the Nigerian Women's Invitational for Patricia Kambarani Cup. The game in our hands was reduced to 14 overs after lightning in the first innings, and that has made it necessary to revise the score after 14 overs from the first innings. Target now is 105 required from 14 overs, and it's end of the fourth over. Score is 29 for no loss.
Thank you, Endurance. As at yesterday, South Africa was on 28 for loss of 2 wickets. And you talked about understanding the brief. They knew what they were getting into. The reason they are not only batting cautiously, but they are also taking advantage to score those runs.
More dots. It's a no ball.
I told you, I said 4.1 overs.
That's the end of the power play. Set. And clearly, brilliant piece of bowling there. And just Ashley coming down the line and misses that line and was stumped clearly. Quick hands there by the wicket keeper. Very impressive show there. It's Wase. To join Ajidagba in the comms box will be Peter. Peter, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the comms box.
Thank you very much, Endurance. And hi again, Ajidagba. So back. It's so lovely to be here for the second innings. Looks like the SA19 are off to a great start, playing off the bat, losing the first wicket. We can say this is after the power play, because this was the decision, the agreed time frame for the power play to come to an end. Up until now, no team had gone beyond the power play with all wickets intact. SA19 have done it in the reduced overs of this T20 format.
And the lady who claimed that much needed wicket, but through the help of the wicket keeper, Meville Wase, was Alice Kuzwe. And like Alice Kuzwe, like Monsurat of Nigeria. Monsurat from Nigeria, first female ground staff in the history of Nigeria. Final year student of University of Lagos, but has passion for this. Alice Kuzwe started out as a ground staff in Rwanda. But from being a ground staff, the love grew to playing the game of cricket. Now an integral member of Rwandan team.
Very close ball, good reaction, quick reflex reaction from Ashley. Earlier today in the first game, we saw Ghana coming with a new batting order, which somehow backfired on them. This time around, South Africa have done the same thing, giving debutants in this competition the likes of Danieli Boshoff and JC coming in the batting order. Both players actually did bowl in the first inning, with Danieli Boshoff coming in to replace the injured Shofa and helping out finish our over after picking up that knock of the ball. The runs have actually reduced a little bit. And Jesse very quick on the field while fielding, also with the ball, took a very big and important wicket for the team. And now she's in there for the team, knowing fully well that they need to double up in the runs. Running in between sticks will be very, very crucial and essential as they look to pick up a win against the senior and much more experienced side, Rwanda.
We have to say that the left-hand batter for Rwanda, Umutoni Wase Clarice, was very good with the bat. Now, Jeze will hope to replicate such. You know what the left-hand batters do? They make you just change the field at almost every ball. Oh, brilliant shot there. My world. Not today. Funny.
That was a lovely flick of the wrist in this play. A ball going to the leg side, more power behind it. That was definitely racing to the boundary. Didn't go enough and it didn't go low enough to make that ball. And she has contributed indirectly to South Africa, adding 4 more runs to the board.
And we have come to the end of the 5th over. 38 runs for loss of 1 wicket. Their current run rate is 7.60, and what is required is 7.44. They need 67 runs in 54 balls. The target is 105 because of the Duckworth-Lewis method. So it's safe to say, Peter, that they are overachieving South Africa under-19 cricket team.
Performance today and yesterday have been sublime. They've been really, really good. Both the South African team always going up against every ball, attacking every ball as it comes. They've been very selective. This time around, a proper peak, proper low reach for the ball by Fanny prevented a boundary coming towards our region this time. But South Africa will settle for 2 runs off that ball. Beautiful pace of play.
There is a lot of thinking going on, and the captain has once again picked the ball in the first over where she started out from the pavilion end. Not too much joy, gave away 9 runs, and now she's back again, and that's what leaders do. They stand tall in the midst of adversity, and they turn it to victory. Brilliant.
What a wrong way to go out. Sent that ball, didn't make contact. Wanted to play it to the leg side and open the wicket completely for that ball to go to the stumps. A very big wicket for Mani. A very important wicket for Rwanda. Already into the batting order for all of the South African batting order. And remains to see. We still have not seen the captain coming yet to bat. Speaking of the captain, she's the new batter in right now. And look at that ball again. Ashley wanted to send it to the side of the field that has the least amount of fielders. But that backfired. That decision to go and turn our other side to the ball was not the right one. And she is out to pay for that. Another wicket's lost. And Mika, the captain, will help the team in their runs, scoring a staggering 166 against Ghana. Will be here as they will be needing 60 of the next 48 balls to win this game.
You know, I was heading there that leaders lead from the front, they don't lead from the back. You saw what happened in the first over she bowled, 9 runs, no wicket. She got the ball again and said, I will fix this issue. And the best batter up until this moment was Ashley. And what did Diane do? Got the wicket of Ashley because Ashley and Jay-Z were trying to form a partnership that didn't really go down well with Rwanda. And in comes the captain, and this is looking more like a captain's battle.
May the best lady win. Beautiful field placement by the batter. Very familiar with Mika's style of play. Always wanting to find into that gap, that late caught. Just didn't beat that fielder. Would have been a run out. Should they have attempted to take that risky run?
It takes 2 to run. Communication very important. And like we say in mass communication, there are different types of communication, up and down communication, horizontal and vertical, you know, upward and downward, whichever one you want to employ. So it's very important that the striker and the non-striker continues to communicate. And what a way to start for the captain, Mika.
Complimenting Mika, I also have to compliment JC. Very, very fantastic. She contributed on the field as a fielder and with the bar as a bowler. She's here contributing as a striker and a non-striker batter, running as fast as she can, making sure that they complete their runs. That back edge.
One cannot be two, looks a bit risky. You want to say decent over from the captain. More importantly, an over that produced a wicket.
And not just any wicket, it was the important wicket of Ashley. Ashley was comfortable and was starting to click, understanding the field, saw the field, and took that adventurous shot. Good call by Mika, regardless of that appeal. While JC was still looking for where the ball was, she'd already been summoned for a quick one, quick feeds again, and another run on the board. End of the 7th over, it is 49 for 2 wickets lost. 57 is not what is needed. 56, my corrections, is not what is needed of the next 42 balls.
I see something in Jeze, looks very aggressive, but again, there is this attitude of always shuffling away from the batting crease to come hit those balls. And one thing is certain, it's either you connect, you miss time, and then you go back and meet your teammates.
Back is Rosine Herrera, coming from the Court of Appeal end.
About to start the second half of this inning, Ajidaga. Rosine been entrusted with the ball to come on bowl again, giving out 6 runs so far. They will need that efficiency from her to keep those runs as low as possible.
At this stage now, they know within themselves that every ball counts. The run rate has reduced 6.98, and what is required is 8.05. Credit must go to the disciplined bowling of the team that is currently topping on the log. And we have 50 up. Not today, but unfortunately, there was an overrunning by the 2 batters.
That late flick, Fanny was actually very, very lucky that Mika did not notice that. Mika had already slowed down on her pace before being summoned by JC. Huge risk could have taken a second, and they will just settle for 1, leaving JC on strike. Late turn, very beautiful turn. Oh, good understanding from JC. Sought that ball and took a bat away to prevent herself from suffering the same fate that the Rwanda batter had suffered earlier by the batter, I mean Gazelle. Stretched far and wide for that ball, and they're running quickly between the sticks. And 2 runs in between those wickets, and the runs are really ticking down for the South African under 19 batters. Beautifully bowled, Ajidagba, beautifully bowled. Jesse with a late decision, one that wasn't really sure whether she wanted to hit or block, and that pitch, that length, made that decision very, very, very difficult for us. That ball stayed low. She expected a bounce, a low ball, and that wicket was dislodged.
That was the replay of how Jeze got bowled by Rosine Herrera.
Ashley has come off the batting order. The game is very, very crucial. They need all hands on deck. It's slowly slipping. 52 is now what is needed of the next 36 balls, with the current strike rate at 6.3 rather than the required 8.67.
These two need to form a partnership, just like we saw of Ashley and Jeze. We now have 2 new batters. The captain, Mika.
And another spinner has been employed to continue from where Rosin stops. Livia, the bowler from the pavilion end. Spin bowler to spin bowler. Ashley was very much of a disturbance to the Rwandan batters in the first inning. A taste of her own medicine she will get. Low bounce. Just in front of the fielder. Good dive, big dive, but that wasn't a wicket. Still yet to take the board. Mika still on strike, hasn't really found a rhythm yet compared to yesterday's explosive form we saw from her. The runs are still intact, still stagnant, but the balls are ticking down.
Very good start there, Peter, you'd say, from Osajimana Slivia. 3 back-to-back dot balls. You'd feel she had her player. Let's have a look at that again on the very fast ball dropped by the captain at covers. Full on the occasion, enticing delivery, asking to be hit straight into the bucket hands of Diane Bimenyimana, who put down a sitter. Not the best of tournaments she's having, is the captain of Team Rwanda. Another dot ball. Very good bowling from Osajimana Slivia. She should be used like the insurance policy in this particular game, given that the run rate is climbing to getting closer to that 10-run mark. Full again takes the outside edge, but given that she doesn't bowl it with a lot of pace, they will settle for only 1 run. Game kind of slipping away from the young South Africa under-19s. They had a very good starter. But of course, the captain realizing that they love a pace on, turning down all the music, bringing the likes of Irea Rosine and Usabjimana Slivia to make sure the run rate is kept under 6 runs and over. Cheeky on that occasion, loud up here, but the umpire is not interested. Pressure getting the best out of the South Africa under-19 batters, led by the captain, of course, who has faced 10 deliveries for her 4 runs. Mind games there from Irea Rosina, who is bowling her last over. She has a long on, deep mid-wicket and a deep square leg. Her boundary riders. Full again, flat-batted, straight to the sweeper in the deep. They don't mind these singles, the Rwandans.
The decision to take away pace completely and stick with the spin bowlers is paying off for Rwanda at this point. Now South Africa have to play with their bats, and it's not been a comfortable stench for them since that medium was brought into play.
A lot of lessons are to be taken by the Rwandan side, given that they are playing the South Africa under-19s, who averages 15 years. Yes, we are getting to the halfway stage of the tournament. They have big games ahead. They have Nigeria and the semi-finals. Oh, what a beautiful switch hitter. Lovely shot again from the captain, leading from the front. A little bit too early to my liking. Should have came in earlier on. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Leg break. What a shot. Switch hit from the captain. No chance whatsoever from the fielder at pointer. Toying with the field is the captain. They need to rethink and readjust his team Rwanda. Tomorrow is the rest day for all the teams. A big day they have on Tuesday, taking on the host nation. Turn and bounce again. Oh, what an effort. Saving our team 3 runs is Umutoni Iwase Clarissa at backward point. As we come to the end of the 10th over, it is a 61 for the loss of 3, needing 44 in 24 deliveries.
44 needed in 24 balls. Big question is, someone must have gone in to tell the 2 batters 11 per over is what you require if you still want to maintain as an unbeaten side. Maximum.
What a hit that is. Taking a liking of a second delivery. Took a little shimmy, got to the reach of the ball. Look at the flow of the hands of the captain. Straight as you like. What a hit as she moves into the 16s now. Can this be the over they try and target her? A little bit sloppiness again from the Rwandan side. Run out chance. Should pick up a double with ease. 8 runs coming off the first 2 deliveries over Osabjimana Slivia. They would love to target this over if they can get anything closer to 20 runs. We have a game on our hands.
Yeah, after that full-length ball, that shit ball that was sent to the boundary, she's drawn the ball back a little bit and reduced the length of the ball. And now that batter has to now create something out of nothing. "11 runs per over was what they needed, and right now they're doing very excellently well. 9 runs already in 4 balls, 2 more balls to go. Any more runs now could actually put South Africa at a very, very nice position to see out the rest of this game and possibly win it." Is there anyone in that deep? Anyone close enough? No one is. 4 runs to the leg side and the open fine leg region. The slow ball in the good length. And the patience from the batter. Just waited for that ball to ease in and slow down, chokehold, and sends all the way to the boundary. Already now, it is 10 runs. My correction, 13 runs already for South Africa, and it's the last ball of the 11th over. Fielding of Rwanda has been very much quite scared. It's not like the Rwandan side that we're used to seeing. A lot of fumbles, 2 drop catches already, and now South Africa are seizing control of the final 3 overs.
Peter, we said 11 is required in every over. See that again on replay, how they managed to run that. They got 14, which meant that they have 3 for the next over. And then they can target 8 in that over. And 75, 30 runs needed in 18 balls is quite achievable with what we have projected. Will Rwanda allow this to happen? Only time will tell.
Shimi Ariete, who's been brought back into the attacker. They won't like if they don't get this winner to have a chat with their coach, Leonard Damburo, with the fielding they've put on. Loud appeal on that occasion, but the umpire is not interested. Desperations are from every Rwandan player on that field. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. She took a little shimmy. She was way in the middle. No chance whatsoever. Very good decision. The umpiring has been spot on, you would say. Takes a little shimmy again. Lovely shot. Straight as you like. No chance whatsoever for the captain in the deeper. This game is going down to the wire. The captain once again leading from the front is Mika van Voster. With Ofada, took a little shimmy, got to the reach of the ball. Full flow with her arms into the side screen for yet another boundary. Putting the experienced Ariete Ishimwe, a lady who has picked up 144 international wickets.
Not a small fry. And you can see that Mika is getting out of her shell. 23 runs from 18 and 4 more good balls to be bowled. This
A big one. And
they have overgotten what they require. The replay will help you appreciate the aesthetics of that batting of Captain Mika.
she's closing the gap between she and the ball, walking in line of the ball and picking off that first bounce to the boundary, going all out, playing with the backhand. It is not funny as it sounds. I've never seen the Rwandan fielding side so quiet and so confused while fielding. They've had control for most part of this tournament, and now it is just so quiet as they are now having to re-strategize after every ball.
I'll tell you why, Peter. Courtesy of the captain, toying with the field that she knew from the very first boundary where DRB Menyimana was fielding at long off. She didn't care later. And now the second boundary, the maximum, hitting it on the right side of the fielder in the deep. Big over it is turning out to be. Change of pace there from Ishimwe Ariete. Nothing is working for the Rwandan side. They look shell-shocked at the moment. The game is slipping away from them. They are yet to test a defeat. Lekata on that occasion, smartly done. I'm not sure why she's been bowling quicker in the previous deliveries. These youngsters love pace owner. This is really smart batting from Ashley and Mika van Voster. Look at that sloppiness again in the field for Team Rwanda.
This is what pressure does. When it oh my word, Putin. How did we get here?
That ball, a ball that should have just stopped at one, wasn't even a fast ball. You was already in front of the ball. That tension is starting to take over everything that Rwanda side have been doing. The bowlers are trying to keep it calm, but the field is not being supportive. We saw it in the first game against Ghana, we saw when the field was not complementing what the bowlers were doing. Rebecca Adotia had a very fantastic bowling spell, giving out just 16 in 4 overs. But a lot of that could have been reduced if the field was uptight. And South Africa are taking advantage of the commotion going on right now and the tension.
Where the South Africans wanted them to go. Usabimana Sylvia sent again to the boundary. Had a first over that was brilliant. Was also part of the team that was sent to the boundary.
Of course, that was the over Shimwe Eriet, a very expensive over. Allowing, of course, the younger South African under-19s to get within the reach. 15 to get over 12 deliveries. Alice Ikuzwe is being brought back into the attack. No deep extra cover, interestingly, for her. She has a deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, long on and a long off. She's going to make sure she brings out all the experience with her leg cutters and off cutters. The penultimate over can't decide. Quicker on that occasion, pulled away. They love pace owner. They will be looking for the double here. Very good fielding. Run out chance, wrong end again. Nothing has worked for the Rwandans in the field. They've been outplayed in this 12 overs, .1. They will need to pull off a miracle here if they are to stay unbeaten in this 5th edition.
14 balls, 14 runs needed from 11 balls. Rosine Herrera chose the wrong end. There is a bit of conversation between the captain and the standing umpire. There will be a tete-a-tete.
And when you look at that partnership of Mika van Vost, the captain, and Ashley van Wyk, this is where Rwandans have missed the trick, allowing Ashley to play a very big role in that partnership. Every time she's faced, they have opened up the field for her to pick up that single.
That's what Bob is talking about. Ashley. The partnership.
Let's have a look at the options of the captain. Can we see yet another reverse sweeper? Given that there's no one patrolling on the offside, fine leg and third man Aisa in the rig. Why this delivery there? She gets away with it, you would say, given the field set she has, is Alice Ikuzwe.
Ladies and gentlemen, but in this over, we have 4 more good balls to be bowled.
Every time that ball is played, there is a high possibility of the ball beating the fielder in front of it. And South Africa are being very quick between the stumps. Every run that is completed is another heated pressure on the Rwandan fielding side. It is unlike them to be so pressured, but given the category of the youngsters that they are playing with, it is much more going to be, it's going to hurt a lot more losing to this very youthful side, averaging 15 years of age.
interested. Temitope. It's very close.
Takes a little shimmy on that occasion. Second time lucky there from Flora behind the stumps. As they pick up another wicket is Team Rwanda. More importantly, it is a dot ball.
Give credit to Alice Kuzwe. You don't want to get the ball at this critical moment, most especially when you know that Ashley and Mika are on fire, but she has done excellently well. You've earned the right to smell your flowers. Alice Kuzwe, brilliant over from her, where we are seeing what looks more like a drama that might be saved for the last over.
Very good bowling, you would say there from the experienced all-rounder Alice Ikuzwe, making the Rwandans sense a relief.
Already a new battle in number 4 and number 5. Jaylee Philanda, Mia Lilo coming up the batting order. Open the bowling for them, finish the bowling inning, and will look to finish this game alongside Mika Van Forst.
The big question here, Ajidaba, is the new batter in going to take a single, or she will try and make sure the last delivery will go for a boundary, allowing, of course, the captain to face the last over, who is already on to 30 of 22. Big delivery here for the Rwandans, especially Alice Ikuzwe. Sticking to the same fielder for the new batter in.
Brilliant. Now, over. Captain versus captain.
Who's going to win the battle of the captains? Changing ends coming in from the Court of Appeal end. Let's have a look at the field set for Michael Van Vost. There's no deep extra cover, interestingly. Third man is inside the ring. There's a deep, mid-wicket, deep square leg, and a long on and a long off. Those are the 4 boundary riders. She will have to make sure she doesn't give Michael Van Vost pace owner, given, of course, the field set she has. Could be anyone's game. They need 11 off 6 is the South Africa under-19s. She has covered all the stumps. Is the captain, Michael Van Vost. Goes cheeky, loud appeal, but the umpire is not interested. They don't mind the dot balls coming in handy. Is Bimenyimana and Team Rwanda.
5 balls to be bowled, 11 runs to win, 10 to take us into a super over.
From that stance, if that ball had been at the length, probably the initial decision, the initial reading was to go with a reverse shot. We had to improvise for that full length ball. And just 4 more balls. Rwanda still cannot feel too comfortable. She sent them to the boundary on 2 occasions for a maximum. And she's just 2 maximums away from winning this game for them. Still enough balls, more balls.
South Africa under-19 cricket team lost this game. 3 more good balls to be bowled, and they need 10 runs.
Interesting call there from Mika van Voster. But again, don't be shocked from a player who is on 30 of 25, allowing Mia Leroux to face the last 3 deliveries. She nearly got off a mark with the boundary. But she's up against Captain Fantastic, you would say. Bowling into the block holders. Full and straight is the way to go. For lovely shot again. Listen to the sound, but there's protection in the deep. Ishimga Riete, who won't allow them to pick up any other single. Very good over it is turning out to be from Bimenyumana Dian, who has taken matters into our own hands. 9 runs to get in 2 deliveries. Ajidaba, where'd you put your money?
In my pocket.
Another big hit from the captain. Another misfield in the deep, allowing them to pick up yet another double. We come into the last delivery of the game. They found themselves needing 7 runs. They just need to bowl a legal delivery. Is Team Rwanda to stay unbeaten in this competition, but they've been tested by the South Africa under-19s. A lot of homework. Yes, tomorrow it is a rest day. Takes a little shimmy into the Wicket region. A lot of work to be done in the deeper. Another misfielder, but they don't mind this one as they close off the game, staying unbeaten.
A beautiful win for Rwanda, winning the game by 4 runs. Ashley Barnard coming in, posing 21 of 15 balls with Daniel Boshoff 7 of 15. Jesse coming in 1 down, 13 was what she was able to register. Mickey Van Vost playing not out, 34 was able to come off her bat. Ashley Van Wyk, we are registering 10. Mia Taylor coming in late in the inning and only able to register 3 runs for the team. 12 extras was what was gifted, and it wasn't enough for South Africa to pick up the victory. Okay. Best performances, stand out for the Rwanda side. It's Clarice on 26, Fanny of 24, and Wasi of 17 in the first inning, with South Africa's Van Vost being the highest scoring batter in this match with 34 off a bat. Ashley complementing with 21, JC with 13, but that wasn't enough to get South Africa under 19. They very much needed victory. 3 wins in 3 for Rwanda, 1 in 2 for South Africa. Still 2 more games for the young ladies to stand a chance of competing in the playoff round. And we'll see you at the post-match event. Tomorrow is a rest day. Both teams will have enough time to go back to the drawing board, as this was a tight game and we strategize.
The Nigerian Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament, the 5th edition of Patricia Chipo Kambarami Cup. We just saw the best game after 6 games that we have witnessed between Team South Africa Under-19 team, who narrowly lost by 5 runs through the Dr. Lewis method against the unbeaten side, the Rwanda national team. My name is Oluwaseun Wajidagba. Super excited to be here. At this juncture, I will now invite the captain of the South African Under-19 cricket team, Mika van Vos. Mika, look to the skies and be proud of today's performance. I'm sure your coach, Dineza Devranin, will be proud of your performance. But again, what went wrong in that last over? You needed 11 runs of 6 balls. What went wrong?
I think it's not like what went wrong in the last over. I think it's a collective effort, but I think, yeah, just execution.
Talking about execution, were you a bit worried about the Dr. Lewis method that eventually played out, knowing that you have a reduced over of 14 as against starting from ball 1 to 20 overs?
No, I don't think that really affected us, and I think rain delayed matches is a great way to learn. Because the margin of error becomes so small.
Finally, before I let you go, when I fall, I have to pick myself up. After this loss, what's next?
No, we'll definitely go and reflect, pick ourselves up, and then come back stronger.
And talking about come back stronger, we're going to see you in the next 48 hours against the Zimbabwean Under-19 team. I wish you all the best, Mika van Vos.
Thank you.
And that's just the thoughts of Mika van Vos sharing it with us about what happened. At this juncture, I will now call on the captain who is here to taste the defeat, Bimeyimana Maridiani. Another captain's performance, they say you lead from the front, you don't lead from the back. At that final over, what was running through your head? You picked the ball and said, I will face my other captain, Mika van Vos. That was a brilliant over from you.
Thank you.
What do you have to say about your team performance today?
What I can say that it's well done. Yeah, we did well there, but there are some things we need to change and make it better so that we can even do more than what we are doing in this game.
Talking about things you want to change, can you please share a bit with us? Those things that you think needed to be changed in the team.
If you see the way we are fielding, that's not our standard, so it's something we need to go and collect because we've been not fielding to the capable we can do, but that's where we can go and finish.
Diane, was that fielding owing to the pressure that the South African Under-19 team mounted? Because at some point in time, I just felt, hey, this team was under pressure by virtue of what the likes of Ashley and, of course, Mika was doing. Was it owing to that?
It wasn't about the pressure they were putting us, because if you see the way we started, even from ball 1, the fielding wasn't like really well.
Finally, before I let you go, Diane, after 3 rounds of matches, unbeaten, what's next?
Just keep expecting more.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from Bimeyimana Maridiani, the captain of Rwanda, whose team is here to taste a defeat. To present the player of the match, honorable mention to the likes of Ashley Van Wyk, Mika van Vos. But again, the player of the match for today is someone I love to chronicle. Started out as a ground staff at Gahanga, but showed interest in playing the game of cricket. Fast forward to today, she's become a household name when it comes to cricket in Rwanda. Alice Ikuzwe. And to help me present that player of the match is an umpire we respect in Africa, but more importantly, the technical director of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, Olumide Akintokun. Alice, congratulations on your player of the match. How excited are you? How happy are you?
I don't think I can say I'm happy because...
In spite of winning, can I take away the win and give it to your opponent? Okay, continue.
No, because we are not did what we are supposed to do. That's why.
But again, we are proud of your performance. 3 overs, 21 runs, 2 wickets, and 6 runs not out. And your team this victory, but more importantly, the player of the match. So congratulations once again, Alice Kuzwe, and I wish you all the best in your subsequent games.
Thank you.
All right, you just heard from Alice Kuzwe, the player of the match. And from today, we are going to take a pause from cricket activities. We will be back on Tuesday, but tomorrow is rest day, but not complete rest because there's going to be a legacy program. What is the legacy program? That legacy program is all about the legend herself, Patricia Chipo Kambarami, former International Cricket Council Africa Development Officer, what she stood for. And so we are going to be seeing teams come out and then do a coaching clinic. So ladies and gentlemen, watch out for this space. It's going to be very exciting. From here at the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval, venue for the Nigerian Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament, the 5th edition of the